Hello, welcome to a Not So Awesome review. Today we're looking at the S.H Figuarts Wargreymon. This is one of the Digimon from the Digimon anime. Obviously, that's what it is. You can see it right there. If you didn't know, now you know. But yeah, this is based off his look in the Digimon the movie. Basically our war game is what that part of the movie was in Japan. Over here was a compilation of 3 different movies. But yeah, that's why we have Tai here looking into the computer, looking all well intent. I don't know. I mean, they could have chose a different facial look. I'm fine with it. I actually really like this. Comes in an acrylic stand. You can see here, and you just put together. And it looks cool. It's a nice accessory. I'm not gonna lie. I love it. Moving it aside though, you can see the figure here. Once I reposition the camera, is definitely, we've already gotten a Wargreymon. We have a D-Arts one, and it was pretty good. I liked it. It had a nice metallic kind of color scheme, metallic gold, chrome gold for the claws, a nice shiny silver for the rest of the armor. Really good figure. Wasn't without its issues. This one, updated body, updated sculpt, updated way his claws kind of work, and I absolutely love it. I think that they did a great job with this figure, and I honestly probably wouldn't have picked it up if it wasn't for the fact that my Toys R Us had it on clearance for about $39. Now, don't get me wrong, he's still cheap on Amazon. He's going for $42. It's not that big of a difference. But the fact that it was there, it was in person, kind of pushed me to buy it. And I am so glad I did, because I was definitely missing out on this figure. And I would have really hated it if I had waited too long to get it and the price shot up. So my first thing before I get started here is, if you're thinking about it, definitely pick it up. There'll be a link in the description to the Amazon page to buy it, because he is 100% worth it. Now, really quick, that is sticking up, and it's kind of bugging me just a little bit because, well, should be down. But I want to note right now, on the old one, these pieces right here and right here, mostly the side ones, didn't kind of stay up. They always just fell down, which kind of bugged me. And these ones, you can position them the way you want, which is cool. So yeah, anyways, accessory-wise, he does come with a pair of fists, as you guys can see here, a pair of kind of open posing hands, and a pair of his little claw things. You can see, just line it up by the thumb so you know which one goes to which hand. Obviously, this one goes there, and this one goes there, but besides the point, the way his articulation's been done is really good. Now, the shield part in the back has been updated. He has kind of this LZ kind of shaped hinge. Now, there's a peg that goes into the back here. It can come off, just in case you're wondering, and it rotates side to side from there. You guys can kind of see it rotating. So it goes side to side from there. If I hold it down here, you can see it rotates right here too. If, let me just pop it off. So again, it rotates from here. Focus this for you guys. Rotates from there, side to side. So we have movement down here, and we have movement down here. And then we have that hinge right there. So you can get a pretty good amount of movement from just his little shield / wings in the back, which is awesome. The other one was just a straight out peg that went in like a little ball format, and it wasn't that great. So already, I think that right there was a really good upgrade. Head-wise, again, we have like a double ball peg thing going on. One at the bottom of the neck, which gives his neck a good amount of movement. Can go back and forward, side to side. Then one at the head that gives him that pivot and stuff. So we can get his head into some really, definitely nice positions. The hair does kind of get in the way a little bit if you're trying to go back a little too much. But other than that, it's not bad at all, and I really like it. Arm-wise, he has kind of a somewhat butterfly joint where you can see it going forward just a little bit. Enough that, if you want to move his arm in through his chest, it works. So I think that's nice. And it also helps with the upper arm movement, because this is on his actual upper bicep. It's not attached to his body. There's a hinge here, which that does happen a lot if you kind of pull too much. You don't even really feel it going on. It just kind of pops off. His arm hinges up, but it doesn't hinge up the best. It's about that much. Any more than that, you put too much pressure, it'll pop off like you guys just saw. So it's not the best. It's really being pushed up by this butterfly type joint, but again, that's good. That's, I'm sure, how it was designed. So perfectly level, more or less, which again, maybe just a little bit off, but not bad at all. Upper bicep rotation, double jointed elbows, which gets a little bit in the way when you have the armor there. When the armor is up, you can see it goes in a little bit more, but obviously, you know, depending on the position, you move it forward, you can do good like that. So, gotta mess with it to get it right, but not bad at all. Rotation at the wrist and a hinge, which you can see his like ball peg here is really big. They definitely made it so it kind of like looks like it's one piece here instead of more or less like any other Figuarts like Goku and all those guys where you have a tiny one, you can get a better range with the hinge. This one's a little bit more limited, but it still gives you plenty of range nonetheless, which I think is awesome. He has basically 3 ball pegs going on down here on his waist. We have his upper one, which moves independently. It's not the best movement. It's a little bit of side to side and a little bit of pivot. Same with the next one, and then the bottom one gives you the most. But they all 3 of them move, which definitely help with his articulation. He can lean back a very good amount. He can lean forward a very good amount. So yeah, side to side and everything in the gap, you know, you can see it, but it's not too bad, and I like it. They definitely could have just cheaped out and given us one up here and one down here, or just straight up given him one. I know the old one had one on the top, one on the bottom. I don't know if the middle one had one, but still, cool. Like I said, these kind of stay up if you want them to. Can't kick out too much, and I feel like they could have fixed that if they had just cut this part a little bit lower. His leg could have gone out a little bit more, but not too big of a deal. He can kick forward perfectly straight, which is awesome. Can kick back a pretty decent amount. And he does have double jointed knees, but you can see if you just push it from the bottom, it's not that great. You kind of have to force that top one to go and then push it, and then he gives you better than 90, which is awesome once again. And then I love his toe articulation. He has like this giant spinning peg up here, which goes side to side, which gives him all of this range down here at the bottom. And then he can move forward a pretty decent amount despite the armor, move back a good amount, and then he does have this toe hinge. They can move back a little bit and move forward. And yeah, I really love the bottom feet of this guy. I think they did a really good job. Switching out his hands is as easy as it is with any other Figuarts. Just pop it off and pop a new one on. For his little claw things here, you know, just make sure you have the right one. Look where the thumb is, and then slide that kind of into place, which can be a little difficult, but it's not the hardest thing in the world. You know, right here, I would want to fix that because the hinge is definitely in the wrong angle. You're going to want to mess with it or pull it out. Another thing you can do is you can actually pull these off. Right here. You can pull that off. They only go in one direction. And it will help you kind of mess with it and get everything lined up right. And then you can just pop that back on in case you're having troubles. Which is awesome because the old one, you know, you had to actually pop off the hand and take the hand out of the claws to put the hand on here if you didn't want them on. And then getting the hand in the claw, it was just such a big issue that it kept falling off on me on the other one. But yeah, aesthetically, he looks amazing. I think they did a really good job, especially with, you can focus here. You can see his face. That eye looks amazing. I love the paintwork on the eye. You can see for the most part there aren't really any paint errors aside from a little bit of red right here, which I feel like I can maybe get that off. Everything looks amazing on it. The only part of it that's painted yellow that stands out just a little bit is the body. It's a little bit of a different yellow than the rest of him because the rest of this I believe is molded plastic. Here it's painted yellow because I want to say it's molded gray, but it's not off, really. I mean, it's just slightly different. So I think the only real reason I can see it is because the body here is matted and this is kind of more glossy. But other than that, it's really good. Definitely accurate to the our War Game, Last Digimon the movie look of Wargreymon, and I love it. I really do wish, you know, we had gotten some more accessories like hands that could hold his shield, because he has held his shield in his hands before kind of to block things. It would have been nice to have like maybe these parts interchangeable and have him battle damage from when he's fighting the Oboromon or something. Things like that would have been cool, but for what we got, for the price I paid, I'm not gonna complain. Anyways, let's get on to some size comparisons. So here he is compared to a S.H Figuarts Super Saiyan God Goku and a Marvel Legends Spider-Man. You can see he's the shorter of the three. He stands about 5.5 inches, with these other two more around 6-ish inches tall. And yeah, not a bad size. Obviously out of scale, though I feel like we should all expect that, because if he was in scale with, let's say, a TIE figure, he should be a lot bigger. And that's all I'm going to say about that. So don't expect these to be really in scale with 6-inch figures. But I mean, if you wanted to pose them fighting each other, I don't see why that would be an issue. Though, again, he should be actually a lot bigger. He is compared to the S.H Figuarts Metal Garurumon. And this is, I believe, the designer series or something like that. It's some type of series, collectors, something. I don't know. It's not the D-Arts version. It's basically the D-Arts version, but just a repaint of it. And it's cool. I like it, though I'm really hoping that now that we got this guy, we'll get an animated version of him, because this is, again, more like that metallic-y look. And I don't have a problem with it. I love it. But I'm really hoping for a version of him with some updated articulation and maybe one of these, but with matte on it. I think that would be awesome. And knowing what I know about this guy, I would probably pick it up right away. And lastly, here he is compared to the S.H Wargreymon, and you can definitely see the difference here. Not only in size of the original being slightly bigger, slightly bulkier. You know, his arms are longer, the claws go almost all the way down to the ground. You can see the paint differences, the articulation, like I said, on this guy isn't as good as his. You know, it's definitely kind of dated compared to him, though. I still really like him. I feel like this is more of a version of Wargreymon from when he's digivolving in the show. He reminds me more of that 3D animated look, you know, the stock footage we see every time him digivolving. I feel like he resembles it more, because they were more metallic in that kind of sequence. And when they were fighting in the cartoon show and in the movie, it looked more like this, more cartoony. And yeah, I like having both of them. I definitely recommend this guy over this guy. Not only because of the price differences, but just because of the articulation. This guy did it so much better. And I don't know, his face to me looks more like Wargreymon from the anime than this guy's face, who looks a little bit more, I don't know, more real, more real. That's really the best way I can put it. And like I said, these little things, you know, they don't want to stay up. But again, I will be doing a side-by-side comparison, like full-on review or video on that eventually. Hopefully soon. We'll see how it goes, but yeah. So overall, I would definitely recommend this figure. I think I've already said that. Pick him up if you can, if you want him. Now is your time. Now is the chance. He is at about $42 on Amazon as of me recording this. Maybe your Toys R Us, if it hasn't closed yet, might have him. Like I said, mine randomly all of a sudden this popped up, and I definitely do not regret getting it, because he is now probably my favorite Figuarts. And I have a good amount of Figuarts. Don't get me wrong, the Dragon Ball Z ones are amazing. I love them. The Captain America I have, not so much. But the Stormtrooper, which I will do a review on at some point, pretty good. But this guy here, I feel like blows everybody out of the water. It could be nostalgia, slightly talking, but if that were true, then I would be talking about how good the other Wargreymon is as well. But that's not the point here. That's not the case. This guy on his own, great figure, great articulation, 10/10, would buy again. Kind of want to buy again, just so I can make like a beat up version. Maybe if they still have some and he goes on a bigger clearance, I will pick him up. But anyways, that is my review for the S.H Figuarts Wargreymon. I hope you guys did like it. If you did, comment down below, hit the like button, subscribe for more, and I will see you all later. Thank you for watching.